Hello, chess fans. We're back with another chess game analysis from Master Focus, another Master Focus chess game analysis. Today we have an interesting matchup between two celebrities, Andrew Tate and Piers Morgan. This was on Piers Morgan's show. And obviously these two guys are very popular, so I want to cover the game. So the question here is Andrew Tate really that good, or is Piers Morgan just that bad? Now, Piers Morgan did say allegedly that he was the chess champion of his school. After watching this game, I'm starting to question, was this in grade school? Was this a very small school where there are only 2 students? And I'm starting to question, what was the level of competition at this school by the way Piers Morgan played? Or is this just a bit of stage fright? Anyway, let's go into the position. Let's analyze the game. So judging Andrew Tate, he's gone with Queen's Gambit. Piers Morgan goes with the Queen's Gambit declined opening. And we get this typical setup. You've probably seen this hundreds of times, if not thousands. Nice bishop cutting through the middle of the board here on an advanced square. We get the bishop pin on the king. Ordinarily here, I would probably play something like queen b c2. But Tate plays e3. Not a bad move. I'm sure it's well within theory. I mean, at the very least, if bishop takes, pawn takes, the knight still can't come into the square because, well, the pawn would be there taking away this vital square. So it's probably well within theory. So he takes, and we get this sort of broken pawn structure. But it's, like I said, it's not bad. Definitely playable. And then Piers plays this move. Now, this is what we would call a beginner move. And we would call this a beginner move because generally you don't bring your queen out into the game so early. It's almost disrespectful to somebody who has any chess acumen. It's just something that you wouldn't do. Besides, he left his pawn hanging. And as he should, a little bit of blood comes into the game. Bishop takes c7. Computer is calling for the queen to hop back, kick the bishop out, and Piers doesn't do that. At this point, computer says white is up 3.8. You see the eval bar. White is definitely winning, convincingly winning. Now, here's a move. I know this is fast. They didn't have a time clock that said 5 minutes of TV time left, so they played really fast. I would have expected a classy move, developing the knight, attacking the queen at the same time. Instead, Tate plays this, which the computer calls a mistake. Who knows why Tate made this move? Maybe it's TV, but it's just not a move that you would expect from someone with a master level of chess. But again, who knows his motives? Maybe his motives were like, I'm going to take it easy on Piers. He obviously can't play that well, right? So who knows? Then Piers comes back here. This is an inaccuracy. As you see, computer just calls for him to hop straight back. Obviously, this is bad because you're going to get another tempo as the knight develops and hits the queen. And that happens. Now the queen has to move again. But this time, blunder. For some reason, Piers Morgan decides to castle. He leaves his queen hanging. And this is the move that has me like, was he really the chess champion of his school? What school was this? What grade was this? What was the level of competition? Because who hangs a queen on move 8? I mean, just who does that? You just don't see that. So then I have to throw him some bail, right? I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe Piers is like, this is my guest. I want to make him look good in front of my audience. You know, you don't want to make your guest look bad. He's like, I'm just going to give him a queen, make it good TV, make it so that Master Focus has something to talk about on his chess YouTube channel. Who knows? Hangs the queen. You know, if you're going to do that, better was Botez Gambit. Take the bishop and just play like that. At least you take a piece with you. You know, if you're going to go down, if I'm going to go down, I'm taking somebody with me. That's the mentality behind that, right? Anyway, he hangs it, gives it away completely for free. Rook comes into the game. Just an ordinary developing move. Here, again, like, we can go into what the computer would play. I probably would have left that rook there and played b6, you know, just preparing for anything happening here, trying to develop my bishop out, get some counterplay along this way. I mean, that's just my thought process. Sometimes when you play this rook here, you play it with the dark square bishop in mind. Sometimes the dark square bishop comes back to f8, protecting anything happening on the g7 square. Anyway, let's continue. Queen c2. So this is a classy move. This is showing that Tate has a bit of class. Obviously looking to come in, add some more pressure to this very delicate h7 square. Personally, I would have played bishop, but this isn't bad. So we get the typical h6, kicking the knight out. Knight comes back. And then Piers plays this knight move. Like, what is that doing? Like, you know, usually in chess, you want to coordinate your pieces. So you attack in bunches, like 3 or 4 pieces, you know, 2 or 3 pieces. You work together in an attack. What is this? What is this knight doing? He's just by himself. He's like a lone ranger. He's like Rambo. This is a Rambo knight. I'm going to do this all by myself. No, you're not. You're not. You're just going to get kicked back. And he goes back. Bishop slides into the game. I wouldn't have played this move. I can't say it's a bad move. I think, oops, sorry. Let's go back. Spoiler. So personally, I would have played, let's say I wanted to capture this square, right? Which personally, I wouldn't have been worried about. I would have wanted to bring another friend to the party. But if I was concerned with this square, I would have popped the knight there. I'm not sure that is the right move. That is just what I would have preferred. Bishops are generally stronger than knights, so you might want to keep them on the board. This position is going to open up. So these, you know, after you take here, these bishops are going to start opening up and getting active. Coming in here and here. But anyway, let's go back. So instead he plays bishop, knight takes, and in here I was questioning pawn takes, but I guess that's not a good move. You know, you really don't want to have doubled pawns. So I'm gonna have to say this was the better move. This is a good move by Tate. Notice the pawn structure. Good pawn structure. There's no pawn immediately ready to kick this knight out. And also, you don't want to open things up. He's got 2 rooks. Your king is still stuck in the middle. You don't want this rook coming in. This is an open file. Some counterplay starts happening. Anyway, we continue. And now he finally develops after Piers takes that pawn. The white bishop gets active. b6. Finally, b6. Piers is like, oh, I see this pawn open. Tate goes, it doesn't matter. I have castled. This bishop move is going to be impotent. So we continue. And Piers plays this move, g6. Maybe, you know, preparing king g7. I don't know what that move is. You're going to find out soon when that's just a bad move. Bow. Tate, knowing his tactics, savagery continues. Oh, my Lord. The savagery continues. I'm sorry. The savagery begins. This is where savagery begins. Now, this is the move that lets me know Tate is not your average chess player. This is just not a move beginners find. This is a guy who's done his tactics. This is a guy who has some class. And at this point in the game, I believe the exact quote, hold on a second. Actually, I don't have the exact quote up, but it was something to the effect of, go ahead, you can have my knight. This is the taunt that Tate has set. He's taunting Piers Morgan during the game and say, go ahead, you can take that knight. I don't know if it makes sense to take that knight. So Piers Morgan, understanding potentially what was going on here, plays bishop b7, finally taking advantage of this. Just look how naked this is. Just look at this. This diagonal is just naked. Finally, he takes over this position. Tate brings this rook in. I don't know why. Why? I don't know what this is supposed to do. What did the computer want here? A computer wanted the knight to just jump back. I mean, of course, he's winning either way. You know, if he wanted to move the rook, I would have expected the rook to come to an open file, control some squares. I don't know why he brought the rook there. Maybe he was, you know, if I'm thinking about this thing, he brought this rook over to play this pawn push at some point in the game, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what Tate was thinking. Anyway, let's continue. So he plays rook a e1. The correct move is bishop comes in, attacks the queen, blocking this entire diagonal. Eventually, he's going to win back that knight. All right. Although, I guess you block here. Bishop takes, queen takes, and we're back in the same position we started in. But anyway, that's what the computer wanted. Bishop, the computer was asking for bishop e4, trading off the light square. And then Piers Morgan makes this inaccuracy. If he was going to take that knight, he should have taken the knight a long time ago. I don't know why he did that. Maybe, I don't know. Bow. Queen check. Now, this is just where things just go awry. It's just over from here. He's going to sweep up these pawns. This is a free knight. So it looked like when he sacked the knight here, this is what Tate was preparing. This is a hanging knight. It's going to come with tempo. So king can't come to any of these squares, obviously, because the queen occupies those. So, whichever way the king moves, right? For example, if the king goes here, queen take check, and he's got to come back. And then queen check again. And no matter where he goes next, let's say he goes here, he can also win this pawn. Now, let's say after all of that, the king comes here, right? And I say check here, and the king makes the mistake and comes here. Well, queen comes in check with tempo. Oh, crazy. Then probably slides over, check here. And then I'm sure there's some mating sequence, or there's some when the bishop moves or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, let's continue. I don't want to do too much of this. So the game continues. And Tate checks here. I believe the computer was calling for take here check. But Tate, being a gentleman, decides to allow that to happen. He comes in this way instead and says, I'm going to take the knight this way. King comes in. Obviously, now we're going to take the knight check. He's going to block with his rook. And now, because this rook is pinned, we can take that pawn. Bow. Rook comes into the game. That's just a bad move. I mean, at this point, we can liquidate. I wouldn't suggest doing that. I think Piers is just looking at this pawn. He's pawn hunting at this point when he really needs to think about, I don't know, probably repositioning his pieces, getting that king, I don't know, maybe some sort of king walk. I don't know what he's trying to do here. Anyway, Tate takes that pawn. I don't know if that rook. I don't know if I would have taken that. I don't think I would have taken that. I would have played rook b1, bringing this guy into the game. Or maybe here and here and here. I would have definitely enjoyed Piers Morgan taking this pawn. I'd have even traded off the rooks, liquidated the position even more, give him less mobility. Let's see what the computer calls for. Queen check. Yeah, I guess you can play that way too. King comes here, and then you win the rook. Oh, wow, I didn't even see that. I should have seen that. I should have seen that. I guess that's forcing. Yeah, I guess that's forcing. Because then he could have protected here. Savage move by Stockfish. Yeah, this is a good move, right? Anyway, let's continue. So Tate plays here. And again, you got to remember they only had 5 minutes TV time. So Tate's like, let me just end this. He just liquidates the position. This computer says an inaccuracy. I mean, yeah, kind of, sort of. Another inaccuracy. Computer says checkmate is now unavoidable. We get check. Check. And then the very calm pawn push. And Tate's basically saying, you can have that rook. It's about to be game over. King comes back. I don't know what that move was about. Maybe he saw the danger coming. With all of these moves, who knows? Another pawn push. And then here, it's just like, if you take this rook, it's just mate in 2. It's just mate in 2, man. All we're going to do is come here and check. King has only move here. And then mate. And that's exactly how the game proceeds. Remember we talked about yesterday on the game analysis to take as a mistake. Well, we see that here. And then mate. So I'm just, I'm questioning Piers Morgan's chess acumen. Either Piers Morgan has low chess acumen, very little technique, is maybe just very, very rusty, or he's just a gentleman to his guests. Either way, I can't wait to go on Piers Morgan and him and let me beat him. So people can think I'm some great chess master. Anyway, that's another wrap up of our game analysis. We'll be back again with some more games. Comment if there's a game you want me to analyze or go over. Comment in the comment box, and we'll take a look at it. Don't forget to subscribe.
Didn't listen to me then, I bet they feel me now. Don't let me lose it. The booth not about to prove it. I set goals and pursue it. You the best to never do it. Invest my money, talking fluent, stupid, ducking the Judas. It broke my heart, but over my eyes, you have no honor, I have no choice. Chasing the commas till I'm a goner. Been left for a minute. On my way home, mama, I promise, got caught up in it. Damn. Everybody eats when I'm batting at the plate. First, second, third, home, $1 million, baby.